Hello, welcome to another recycled craft with me, Miss Echo. Today I'm going to show you how to make a spirograph, which if you don't know what a spirograph is, it's a type of drawing mechanism that uses the outer edge of this circle with the grooves and the outer edge of this circle with the grooves, so that way you can create your own continuous line and draw really interesting shapes. And you can move to different circles like that. So that's a very beginner picture of that. So this is what I made using this tool. So in order to make this tool, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need a cardboard box, a pen, some sort of blunt-ended object like a paintbrush, a thumbtack, some scissors, and a hot glue gun. Unfortunately, I couldn't do this with regular glue. You definitely need a hot glue gun. Oh, and you'll also need a marker. So to get started, what you're going to need first is this box. You definitely want to use a box that is a little bit thicker, so not like a cereal box that's very thin. What you need is this corrugated bit in the middle. So corrugated, I think, means that it has some air pockets to create density. So if you can see this, the little zigzags in here is what you need. So you're going to cut a strip of box off. I cut about like one of these flaps off of mine. It's a time-consuming process, which is why I'm not going to show you exactly everything that I did on the video, but I can show you very, very quickly. When I cut the box, in order to get to the corrugated area, I just peeled back the top layer of the box. You can peel back the cardboard bit, or if there's like a design, you can peel it back that way. And then I just tried to expose each little section, and you can do it with your nail, you can do it with scissors. Ultimately, what you want in the end is you want it to look kind of like this. See how you can see all the different grooves? And it's very bendable, unlike how stiff this cardboard is. So once you have these grooves ready and cut, you're going to want very thin strips. So you're going to want one that's much smaller than the other one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this piece into a smaller strip, so that way we can connect them into a larger circle, because you need one to be very small and one to be rather large. Alright, so I have all of my various strips here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to trace a shape onto this box, however large you want it to be. I would suggest something a little bit larger. So see how my initial template uses a little bit less than this width. Oh, here, you know what? Let's look at it this way. If you were to take this smaller bit and just measure out this size, but of course your box is going to be different because you're working from a different box, but I'm just going to show you what I did with mine. So I cut off one of these leaves, or arms, what have you. And now I have the same shape as what I had for my template. So I'm going to draw a circle, oval-ish thing. And I like to do it on one of the flaps because then I can bend it, because we need to cut right into the middle portion of the circle. So we want this whole outside to stay, but we need the middle bit to be cut. So what I do is I fold it in half and then I cut out a triangle like that. So that way it already starts a hole in the center. And then we're going to cut around this circle as best you can. It's obviously not a perfect circle anyway, so if you wanted it to be a perfect circle, you would probably want to measure it, unlike what I'm doing. But this is just for a tutorial's sake, so I don't need it to be perfect. If you don't mind that it's not perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to put this off to the side because I am going to use this later. Actually, you know what? I will use it right now. So in order to create a small area, a small circle to go around in the middle, like this bit, I'm just going to draw a circle on this. And then I'm going to cut out that circle, but instead of cutting out the middle, I'm going to cut out around it because this needs to be the middle of my drawing tool. So I'm going to cut this circle out like so. You can make it larger or smaller. Don't make it too small because you want to give yourself a couple of options for using the inside when we poke the holes in. But now this gets to be the fun part. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our hot glue and we're going to glue with this corrugated edge around the inside of the box. And this is how I would suggest to do it. You would take your glue and go right on the inside of this box. Again, if you are small, if you have never used a hot glue gun before, if you're just worried about it in general, they are very hot, so definitely get an adult to help you. And so you're going to glue this all the way around, and you want it to kind of be even in terms of lining up along the side, because if it's not even, it's going to throw off your drawing. But it's also okay if it's not even. You'll just have to push down on it a little bit when you're using it as a drawing tool. All right, so you're going to do that until you either run out of this and have to start again with another piece, or you completely go around. So instead of watching me completely glue the whole thing together, we'll just show you what it looks like in the end. So this, once you have this looks like the side that I was using. Once you have it all glued together, you can put that aside. And now to create this small piece, you're going to take the little section of circle that you cut out before, and then you're going to take your corrugated cardboard again, and you're going to do the same thing, but to the outside of this circle. So this way you are creating the inner circle that will allow you to draw. So you could do it around the outside of the circle, or you could do it on the inside of this cardboard, whichever way is easier for you. Since it's a small shape, I think it's a little bit easier to do it around the inside of the cardboard. We already know that we're going to have too much, so I'm just going to cut roughly where I think it will end. I was a little bit over, but that's okay. And I'm going to glue the rest of this like so. Alright, so now while we wait for our glue to dry, you can see that in my sample one, I have these holes. So the way that I made those, you want to do it where the least amount of space will be between this inside cardboard bit and the paper. So what I did was I poked holes using my handy thumbtack, and you can poke as many or as few as you want. I like to have a couple of different ones so that way I have different options. And there we go, we have those. So now we have these holes here. What I want to do is I want to take my my paintbrush end and poke it through, so that way it's a larger hole to fit my pen inside of. So once we do that, we've now created 3 holes, and you're going to go back through with your pen and make them a lot larger, so that way you can actually fit your pen inside. Like that. All right, so now we have our little writing bit that will go around in a circle around here, like that. So then you can grab your paper, and I will just grab the paper that I was working on before, and we get to test it. So, I wanted to do it this way. So I'm gonna put it up against the edge over here with my pen, and then I'm just going to go around in a circle, or whatever shape you made, and it's gonna create a drawing, and it'll change as you go around, because the grooves line up differently every time you go around in a circle. And that's how you create a spirograph at home out of things that you already have around your house. I hope you enjoyed this craft today.